Your efforts are compounding, your work is compounding, and if you slow down, if you stop, if you make every little shitty little thing mean something, then you fuck up the momentum that you could have down the line. You're listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, Jill Perick, a business and mindset coach who specializes in imposter syndrome. If you feel like you're not as smart, capable, or worthy as you actually are, and that someone is going to find you out, then you come to the right place. I went from being a struggling government worker, working my coaching business on the side, but feeling unworthy and burnt out, to making multiple six figures helping women overcome imposter syndrome so they too can sign clients, make bank, and have the business or career of their dreams. I am nothing special. I have a stuttering disability, ADHD, and I struggle with anxiety and depression. So if I can learn how to feel good enough and overcome my inner imposter, then so can you. Let's dig in. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the pod. I am your host, Jill Perick, and I am so happy that you are here. Today's episode is so good. I can't wait to share it with you. But first, let me freaking tell you something very exciting. The Fraud Squad opens its doors next week. And this is my 16-week mastermind for coaches and online service providers who are between 0K to 5K months and want to up-level their messaging and their content, get massively visible, and normalize 5-figure months. This mastermind is perfect for you if you're ready to unfilter yourself online, perfect your messaging and improve your content, feel safe and comfortable being massively visible online, and normalize becoming the woman who has 5-figure cash months through her offers. And before we open the doors next week, I am doing a free 3-day live stream event called Fraud to 5 Figures. This is to help you stop feeling like a fraud and learn how to bring in 5 figures in income every month through your offers. You can sign up for the live stream at the link in my show notes and sign up right now so you can come next week. And you guys, this year, Black Friday, I am going off with deals. Deals on deals. I am doing a low ticket offer. I am doing a discount and insane bonuses for the Fraud Squad Mastermind that you just heard about. And I'm doing deals for one-to-one coaching and one-to-one Voxer coaching. So keep your eyes peeled for those deals the week of Black Friday, or you can send me a DM on Instagram to get the link early. And if you don't know, I am at Your Coach Jill. So let's get into today's episode. I wanted to talk to you about something that I've realized is a huge reason why I've been able to grow my monthly income to 5-figure months consistently. I've had mostly 5-figure months since April or May of 2020, and I've definitely had some income dips here or there, which I've been totally transparent about. But for the most part, I've been able to sustain those coveted 5-figure months. And there are a lot of logistical, strategic reasons for this, and there are so many mindset and belief reasons for this. But there is one thing that is fairly obvious, but you won't realize it until we talk about it today. And that was the absence of reactivity, internal and external reactivity. So, what does this mean? One of my mastermind clients booked a one-to-one session with me, and this session was so good. We covered so much ground. But one of the many things we covered was a timeline of her offers and her launches, and we decided that there would be a period where she would sell her one-to-one coaching. And I do this exact thing in between all of my launches. But she asked me a question that spurred a great conversation and the idea for this podcast. She asked, what do you do if you don't sell any one-to-one spots, or if an offer doesn't sell? Do you just continue with your plan? And I said, yes, that's exactly what I do. But here's why I think this is so profound, because I think that this is what causes a lot of frustration, stress, crappy results with your online business. It's because you're being reactive to everything that's happening. You might launch an offer for a week, but 2 days in, you're hearing crickets and you're like, shit, no one's buying. I feel like crap. I'm going to hide for a week now and just stop selling. Or like my client said, you're selling one-to-one coaching and nobody has been buying or reaching out. So you put off your launch, or you just let yourself get discouraged and you aren't as confident selling your one-to-one coaching. This little thing will fuck up so many people. Not continuing with the plan you made is being reactive to your circumstances. And this, like I said, is something I really credit to my success without always knowing how to describe it or articulate it. This feeling of no matter what happens, I'm going to stick with my plan, see myself in this business through, and be committed to it no matter what. Like in 2022, I had a launch in the summer where I didn't sign a single soul. And even though it was super shitty, I carried on and continued with my plans regardless of other offers and things that I had in the works. Did I feel my feelings? Yes. Did some confidence and belief things come up? Absolutely. But as a business owner, I also had to act like a business owner. And that meant not making it mean anything and just continuing on regardless. Like if I think about a person who has a shoe store, if they don't sell any shoes on Tuesday, they're not going to close up shop and just decide to not open the next day. Right? They're going to open regardless. Being reactive in business and also not having some kind of plan can really derail your success, because your success in the online space is something that compounds over time. It is an accumulation of consistent efforts. I recently was on Instagram stories talking about how creating a new offer every time your past one didn't sell is not going to be a great look, because it's not about the offer, it's about you just deciding to stop selling it. And creating something new and thinking that is going to spark someone's interest is just not it. You should be more focused on building a personal brand and your offers being an extension of that personal brand. And something that won't help you build a personal brand is you depriving yourself of offers that your audience begins to recognize as yours. I'm not saying that you can never launch anything new, but something that really helps is offer awareness, just like someone who's been around for longer has awareness around their brand. Sometimes offer awareness will sell the offer for you. There is no offer awareness if you're always creating something new. And when you do it because you think that's going to help you sell something, that's just reactivity. Especially reactivity born out of stress and anxiety and needing money. I've completely been here, so this isn't coming from a snobby place whatsoever. It's coming from a place of knowing that when I needed money, I was reactive as fuck inside of my business. And when you're reactive, something you will easily do is lower your standards and go against what is best for you and your business in the long run. For example, I have signed clients that I felt in my gut probably weren't the best fit, and especially as a fucking generator, we need to go with our gut and how we feel, right? But because I felt reactive in my business, I prioritized making the money over the long-term effects. But you pay the price for being reactive in this way, even if it's not right away. And you end up not becoming the business owner you want to be and not making the money you want to make because of this. You create offers and do things that aren't in alignment. You lower your standards, and every failure, in quotations, because there's no such thing in the online space, but everything that feels like a failure is like the biggest fucking deal in the world to you. Hey guys, I hope you're loving today's episode. I am just taking a brief pause in today's episode to share with you a client testimonial. These testimonials are either from group coaching clients or clients who are in my one-to-one coaching program. And I can't wait for you to hear how I have changed their lives and their businesses for the better.
Jumping in, I realized that I self-sabotaged way more than I thought I did, and I realized that I was worthy of anything and everything, and I learned to not make my failures and my emotions mean anything about who I am or how successful I can be and will be. So it was just an all-around amazing program, and Jill is so supportive, and she knows exactly what to say to help you overcome whatever you're dealing with.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Now let's get back to the episode. So let's go back to my failed launch, okay? So at the time, it felt like a really big deal. But because I was non-reactive even then, I was able to zoom out and see this flopped launch was just a tiny blip on my career as a whole. Just like my Uber Eats era, just a tiny, tiny blip in a very long career. And even if you've gone a while without sales, if things have been quiet, it is just a blip. One of my clients was going through a little client drought, and then she started making sales again. But during the drought, I was like, yeah, you're in the void right now and it sucks, but the way you act during the void is what's going to A, get you out of the void, and B, determine what happens in 2 months, in 3 months, in 4 months, 6 months, whatever, right? Your efforts are compounding, your work is compounding, and if you slow down, if you stop, if you make every little shitty little thing mean something, then you fuck up the momentum that you could have down the line. When I talk about lowering your standards, here's some ways I see this to be true. It can look like lowering your prices or giving a huge discount if people haven't bought yet, abandoning your own work boundaries or your boundaries with clients because you're feeling sensitive or insecure. It can look like quitting in the middle of a sales period or a launch, putting things off on your timeline because something didn't go perfectly to plan. And these things may sound small, like it may feel like it's not a big deal that you're canceling a launch because people aren't signing up. However, the long-term effects, babe, they are real. Not only strategically, but also what it does to your mindset, what it does to your belief, and what it does to your confidence. Releasing the urge to be reactive emotionally and with my business has absolutely catapulted me into 5-figure months so consistently because there's a maturity to not being so reactive, and you're spending a lot of time embodying the person who expects to have the results that you're planning for, even if you don't always get them. I've been doing this since the day I launched my very first group coaching program. In January 2019, I launched a group coaching program for $25. And obviously that was a total shit show, but months later, I launched a group program for $1,300 and I had a 5K launch. I was ecstatic. And since then, I've had many launches, some super successful, some have just been okay, and some have flopped. But the thing is, it doesn't have to mean anything. I'm going to continue anyways. I'm going to get coached, analyze the data, see what worked and what didn't. But most importantly, I'm going to keep doing my thing. Because my success is inevitable. Me being a millionaire is inevitable. Me changing thousands of women's lives is inevitable. And there has to be some leadership here. I have to act as if I would if I was running $1 million business, and that bitch would make a plan that aligns with what she desires to do. Execute the plan and keep trucking regardless of the results. Especially because I know that we can always make a plan and plan for income to come through a certain avenue, but especially when you own a business, it can come through in many other ways. Like during my content course launch, I had like 4 inquiries for one-to-one coaching that week. And this is the beauty of running your own business. You can have a plan, but don't be so rigid with the plan that it needs to go exactly as planned. Leave room for magic and other possibilities. But most of all, keep on fucking trucking. Decide who you are, decide what you stand for, decide what your standards are and what you are willing to do and what not to do. And then stick with that and see yourself, your offers, and your business through. Your efforts will compound over time and you will find yourself at 5-figure months before you know it. And if you want to know exactly how you can go from feeling like a fraud as a coach or an online service provider to bringing home 5 figures every month, you need to get your butt in the Fraud to 5 Figures free live stream that's happening next week. It's a free 3-day live stream event, and it's leading into my launch for the Fraud Squad, which is my 16-week mastermind for coaches and OSPs between 0K and 5K months who want to normalize bringing in 5 figures cash a month. We open the doors on Thursday, November 16th, which is the last day of the 3-day live stream event. So go sign up for the live stream event at the link in my show notes so you don't miss out on that. And then for my Black Friday deals, including the deal for the Fraud Squad, keep your eyes peeled the week of Black Friday, or you can send me a DM at your coach Jill to get the link early. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week. Thanks so much for listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. Head to the show notes to learn how you can work with me, where you can buy my best-selling book, You're Not Special, and how to get on my email list for free. Screenshot this episode and add it to your Instagram stories, tagging me at Your Coach Jill. See you next time.